I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to a phone call from him saying he was going to go to his mum's house. And I remember sort of him being on the phone and he was going, you know, I love you. And I was like half asleep. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Just come home. Don't be so silly. And I was like, just get home. And that was the last time I ever spoke to him. When I left university, I lucky enough to go travelling, and it was when I came back from travelling, I actually met Dan. Things kind of developed and we started a relationship, and not long after moving in together, we found out I was pregnant with Mally. And that's when things really started to change. He'd gone from being this quite cool and calm character to all of a sudden being extremely anxious. I quite often describe him as being this person who's on this roller coaster, but the roller coaster never really got to the top. Things took a bit of a nasty turn then come July 2016. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and he hadn't come home. And I just had this gut feeling I knew where he was. I knew that he'd probably gone back to where he'd grown up. And as I drove down the lane and came around the corner, I was greeted by several police cars. Dan had taken the decision to end his life. So then everything happened that has to happen when somebody dies, and the police came down to take a statement and they came down with a letter, and then something was written in it which really just kind of stuck with me, and it was, you weren't able to help me, but you can try and help somebody else. So I remember sitting down one evening, sitting there with this minister who said to me, why don't you do something? And I was like, do you know what, actually, I think I'll do that. So the DPJ Foundation was set up in July 2016. We need to get support out in the community, but getting them to actually go out and get help is really difficult. So in my head, I was like, well, rather than waiting for them to come and get help, let's just take the help out to them. Because when I went to the GP, I got in touch with the counselling service, and it was a 9-month waiting list. And I remember thinking, that's not really good enough. And so for me, it was like, right, we need to do something about this. And so I set up a counselling referral service specifically for people in the farming community. And these volunteers answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because farming isn't 9 till 5.
As a volunteer, I work as part of a team where we man the Share the Load telephone line that Emma set up. I volunteered at some of the shows, and what I really noticed was the amount of the older generation of farmers that have actually come to have a chat with me. A number of them just kind of opened up and said, I think it's amazing what you're doing, and this happened to me 40, 50 years ago, and those stories are amazing. And I think that for me is why we do what we do, I think, really.
It's been a bit of a busy 3 years, and we've had lots going on. I think, being able to kind of be part of some of these things has been amazing for me, especially receiving a Points of Light award from the Prime Minister, and I was fortunate enough to be part of the Pride of Britain Awards as well, which was just amazing. And on top of this, I've been to numerous shows and events all over Wales really, and it's been a fantastic kind of 3 years. You often find when tragedy hits a community, that's when you see what the best part of that community, because they pull together. And unfortunately, it's taken my tragedy, but it's brought a community together, a whole massive community of people together to support each other, and that's what we need to do. To date, we've helped over 125 farmers across Wales. So when you look at the suicide rate, as one farmer a week in Wales is killing himself. That's 52 farmers a year, and we've managed to help over 120 in the last 18 months. Hopefully we're kind of doing something a bit right.